One of the reasons for the rise of these social movements or subcultures, particularly on digital platforms, is the prevalence of emotion or logic. There is a study in 2021 which was conducted and published in 2021. It stated that until 1980s there was a prevalence of logical words or region-driven words in most of the languages like English and Spanish. These two languages were primarily considered for this research, and it was found that until 1980s there was prevalence of words like theory, experiment. These type of words were prevalent in major languages, and these are mostly driven by logic or reasoning. But after 1980s the trend reversed, and the emotion driven words like understanding, empathy, sympathy, these type of words started gaining momentum, and these words became prevalent compared to the logical words after 1980s. And after 2007 it was found that this trend accelerated. Emotional language, the words driven by emotion were more profoundly common in use after 2007, and the logical words were found to be lesser in normal common terminologies, common or conversations, communications. The reason behind this trend, according to this research, was that in 1980s and after the 1980s, there was prevalence of internet among the people, the prevalence of internet and it gave rise to certain things like spread of information, widespread information, wider spread of information. Also, this spread, the contagious spreading of the contagious prevalence of misinformation and some conspiracy theories regarding many things. Most of the terrorist activities in Afghanistan or Iran or other countries were initiated and also promoted by showing these video clips through the internet that the US or some other countries are doing these type of atrocities on our citizens or on fellow mates or on fellow colleagues or people, on our fellow people whom they were being inclined towards or they were a part of. So this was a result of internet after 1980s, that the rise of misinformation and conspiracy theories was prevalent, and again the emotion driven politicians and also the emotion driven parties came into the power. Then after the rise of social media, particularly Facebook in 2007, it was again increased, the intensity increased to manifold, and the emotion driven parties, emotion driven social movements, emotion driven political pressure groups or other things, the people also started gaining momentum towards these emotion driven movements like feminism, Manosphere, LGBTQ activism, all of these things. These start, and smash patriarchy is also one among them. So all of these things, all of these movements started gaining momentum after 2007, and now the time we are living right now, it is very, very common to have a social media account. The people are spending a lot of time on social media, particularly on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, a lot of social media platforms, and it is we can clearly see with our own eyes that these are giving rise to the spread of misinformation, to the spread of conspiracy theories. We have currently seen in the Lindsay Clancy case that these conspiracy theories or a lot of other factors were gaining momentum. Prevalence of misuse of the word of feminism and also the rise of Manosphere right now is also one among those factors. These are mostly driven by emotions, not logic. There are a lot of arguments by all of these extremist groups, I will call them extremists, the feminist movements, a lot of feminist movements in Manosphere, in LGBTQ groups, and also those people who say smash patriarchy without even searching for the reason that why patriarchy became prevalent on this earth, or why patriarchy was important for the survival of species. Most of the people are just lecturing that this is wrong. Why this is wrong? They are not searching for it. They are not studying that why something is common on this earth, why something is existing on this earth. So all of these factors are directly contributing towards the rise of emotional language. The words we are currently using are mostly driven by emotion. Also, the rise of individualistic language and individualistic cultures compared to the collectivist cultures of early times is also one of those factors, according to this research, that are giving rise to this emotion driven, that we are mainly being centered around ourselves rather than in for the collective benefit of society or for the social cause. And we are also aligning ourselves towards only those social causes towards whom we are feeling empathetic or sympathetic, or we are having or feelings attached to that. So these type of trends are very common nowadays, and we are seeing the rise of this. I'm not saying what is right, what is wrong. I will always say that these are the trends that are going on in wave-like form, that one thing rises and then it goes down, then something else rises and it again goes down. It's a part of nature. It's evolutionary mechanism of nature. So we need to understand that not necessarily that some arguments or some moments are better for the survival of human as a species. We need to understand that not always it is important to prioritize emotions over logic or reasoning. We need sometimes those logical arguments or those reasoning to perpetuate the survival of humans, perpetuate the survival of human as a species, for the better survival, for the better and sustainable survival of our species. So my main concern is humans, the human species. So thank you for listening me. Tell me your thoughts in comments and take care. Khayal rakho. Bye bye.